one of my grandmothers was just always very dressed, if you know what I mean. Very fly, very put together. May she rest in peace. She was literally my favorite person in the world. And I just always admired her. Like when she would get together, she had her jewels, she had her furs, her leathers, all of the things. And so I just kind of always like followed behind her.
There is a hidden seed phrase in this episode. The last time, it took about 10 days to sweep the wallet, so I want to know if you think you can do it faster this time. And shout out to Asanoha from Bitcoin Art Magazine for generously agreeing to double the bounty. Sweep the wallet and 42,000 sats are yours. Good luck. So, Bitcoin can be a lot of different things to a lot of different people. For some of us, Bitcoin also represents beauty and jewelry and luxury. And here to talk about proof of beauty, proof of work is none other than Jay from BitBabe.
Thank you. I'm so excited. This is honestly the first time that I'm doing something like this. So a little nervous, work with me, but I'm really happy to be here. I was so happy when you reached out.
Yeah, when I first started podcasting, I used to drive my car out to the countryside and hide under like the steering wheel section and record. I was so nervous. So I feel you completely. And I'm lucky to have had really fun and relaxed guests on the podcast so that I know to relax a little bit more and, not think of the nerves and stuff.
I'm gonna do my best.
So when I saw your Instagram, I was like, I need to have you on the podcast because number one, I love jewelry. Number two, I love the whole idea of proof of beauty, proof of work, doing things with your hands and stuff. I went to your website and I saw some of the quotes that you wrote down. And I just thought it would be nice to have you on because I want to know, obviously, about your Bitcoin origin story, how you got into jewelry and how you're navigating things today. Because I know that you're a mom as well.
Yeah, I have a little girl. She's 12, and she is a ballerina, so she definitely keeps me busy.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, BitBabe is few months old now, and how do we start? Should I start with my Bitcoin journey because it definitely leads into BitBabe? Or
yeah, let's start with that, with your Bitcoin journey.
So I thought about this before we got on, and I'm like, I just have to be honest. My story started with a guy.
That is okay.
And I think for women, it probably is more common than we think. I mean, the Bitcoin space is definitely male dominated, right? Dating him, and he just was obsessed, like watching YouTube videos all the time, like, and so I knew who Michael Saylor was, not by choice, right? And so I eventually like started listening because I'm here, like he's watching it, and it kind of like intrigued me. So on my own, I went and I like, all right, I'm gonna read like a simple book. So the book was Thank God for Bitcoin. I think that is the best intro book that anybody could read, right? So it made me like, there's got to be a catch. Like there's something wrong with this. So I kept like looking, and then I'm on YouTube and I'm like trying to like, wait, no, how does it break, or what happens when this? Like I'm trying. I spent like a year, I kid you not, of like trying to find something wrong with it or like why it couldn't work, and it finally was like, okay, this is makes sense. This is like everything that's wrong with the world. This is why this makes sense. From our education system to our health care to our food, like all of the things, it's all connected, and it just comes down to like I didn't understand money. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know the history of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um and he was really proud of me because he's like, oh yeah, you know, like he's all in. And that's truthfully like how I got into Bitcoin. So shout out to that guy, that fella.
Oh, so you guys aren't really,
We're
together
still
anymore, or
mm, we're
I get it.
friends.
But the point is that during that season of time, you were there, you got the exposure, and it launched you on a journey. Can I ask, because I think relationships in Bitcoin are very fascinating, in the sense that there's Bitcoin itself, there's a technical aspect, there's what's wrong with money, what is money, but there's also like the interpersonal dynamics between like you and the other person.
Hmm.
And in my case with my husband, I like discovered this thing called Bitcoin and I would not shut up about it. And it caused tension in our relationship. And so when I heard you say you were looking for something wrong, was that, you don't have to answer this, but it's sheer curiosity. Was that only with respect to Bitcoin, or was it like, was there a parallel with your relationship? Like maybe you guys got into an argument and you're like, something must be wrong with Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Like,
No, no, it was more of like Bitcoin can't be like this
yeah.
great thing. Like there has to be like there's something wrong with it. Like, you know, like what if the typical things, what if the internet goes down, or what if, you know, the government decides to do this, like more on that level. But I do think, so there's a book, I think it's probably maybe my second favorite book after Thank God for Bitcoin, Fiat Ruins Everything by Jimmy Song.
Oh,
And
yeah.
in that book, he talks about how relationships are affected because of fiat, and the high time preference and the low time preference,
I saw
and
your
how
Instagram story.
it was on my mind last night, and I was like, you know what? That I don't think that people quite under Jimmy Song reposted me, by the way, but um
Nice. Very nice.
that people just are like, there's no consequence. We'll just do whatever to one another, and then on to the next. And I know that that's like an extreme thing, but when you think about it, when you boil things down to it, it's really not. Like we're just operating and just doing whatever, because
Yeah.
that's the nature of our world.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. And on that note, I realized that I feel like I live on another planet in terms of my mindset and being a mom and relationships and stuff. And I was thinking, like, I was like, what does luxury mean to me right now? Like at this stage in my life. And I'm like, you know what? It actually means sleeping properly, like allocating my time properly so I can spend time with my daughter, but like real time reading with her,
Mhm.
doing her science experiments and stuff like that. It means being able to access like real food at any
Yes.
time, as
Yes.
opposed to, just buying like fast food or whatever. Like the idea of luxury and even beauty and proof of work has changed so much since becoming a mom. My daughter's 6, and with Bitcoin as well.
Yeah, no, all of that. Like the time, being able to slow down, being able to go to the gym,
Mhm.
or go to yoga or play whatever you know, whatever you like, but that is a luxury.
Yeah.
People are having to go fast paced, they're eating whatever. I garden,
Oh,
and
nice. Oh,
it's
beautiful.
like I love being able to just have the time to just go out there, and I literally sit in the grass, and it's so refreshing, and it just, oh, that is luxury for sure.
It is. Do you grow food as well? Or is
Mhm.
it like, oh, tell me what you grow. Tell me,
Oh
tell me.
gosh. Okay. So this season, I'm doing blackberries, so that's a first.
Mm.
Watermelon,
Oh,
zucchini, a few different types of peppers. tomatoes, lots of herbs, lots of different types of herbs. So
You must have a big garden for
yes,
watermelon because they grow on, do they grow
they
on a vine or?
they do. And so this is my first time. I live in Texas, so we get a really long gardening season. We basically can go like all year. And
Wow.
so everyone has been telling me like it's so easy, but they're it's crazy the way that they've grown so fast and they're not even fruiting yet. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, wow. So, and were you gardening before Bitcoin, or is this something that's also been influenced by learning about basically fiat versus sound money?
So that's a good question. Both of my grandmothers were gardeners.
Yeah.
So I think it was I learned from them just from watching by not even knowing what I was learning. And I always had indoor plants, especially like during COVID, I got a lot. Like I kind of sort of became a little bit plant lady like. Um, but once it was definitely a connection. Once I realized like how broken our systems are and what was, what we're eating in the grocery stores, I was like, I have this yard. I can at least try, like, and grow my own
Yeah,
food. So this is about what my third full
good for
year of
you.
gardening. So and another thing I love is to being able to like give it away to like my neighbors and friends.
Yeah,
I think that that is like the coolest thing that comes from my garden. Just like it's organic and it's
it's
from proof of
community.
work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
definitely. That is so dope. We live in we're homeowners, but it's not Geneva, Switzerland is not big like the US. I think you could probably fit, I don't know how many, Switzerland's countries in the state of Texas. Like you
uh-huh.
guys are just
It's
your
huge.
size is it's huge. What's
Mhm.
the saying? It's bigger in Texas or
Everything's bigger in Texas for
yeah.
sure.
But one day, like if we ever get like a proper house with land, I would love to try gardening. My mom does that and she says the same thing. Like there is this sort of peacefulness that takes over and having your hands in the dirt and stuff, like it just does something to you.
I love touching dirt. I don't. The only thing in Texas, the bugs.
Oh, really?
We have to work through that. Like every now and then, I have to like I go and I pull something back. And I'm like, oh my god. But other than that, I love it.
That's too funny. So you learned about Bitcoin because of a gentleman that, your paths crossed at the right time, we'll say perfect timing.
Yeah.
And so how did you then go on with Bit Beauty? Was jewelry something else that you had explored earlier in life and they just came together or what's the story?
So let me just say, I am forever grateful to that guy. I really am. He's a
Oh,
great guy.
good. Yeah.
But one of my grandmothers was just always very dressed, if you know what I
Hmm.
mean. Very fly, very put together. May she rest in peace. She was literally my favorite person in the world. And I just always admired her. Like when she would get together, she had her jewels, she had her furs, her leathers, all of
Oh,
the things. And so
I
I
love
just
it.
kind of always like followed behind her. Always loved a piece of jewelry. I really love being able to like have pieces that I just don't really take off. Like I
Uh-huh.
keep this, I go to the gym, I shower, and it just stays on me. Same thing for like a few, not a lot, but just like, very small, simple little things. And so I wanted that. Truly, I wanted a Bitcoin necklace and couldn't find one that I liked. And that is really what birthed BitBabe.
Yeah.
But I think those things it just kind of meshed and came together, and BitBabe was born from there. Um, but mostly my grandma, like
Yeah.
she was just a jazzy.
Beautiful woman.
Fly
I could,
lady. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? Where do you think that comes from? Because I find that, so I'll speak for myself personally. I've gone through stages where I've been very, very tomboyish, especially in high school and beginning of university. Like my hair was like this long. I played a lot of sports. I liked to chill in my sports outfit. You know what I mean? Like I was
Yeah.
very, very boyish. And then, at different stages in life, I'm like, maybe I should try being a little bit more feminine. And you feel kind of differently. The way I interact with people is kind of different. But where do you think your grandmother got this femininity from, this flyness, this,
I think
presence?
I think it's just in you, you know?
Yeah.
Like some people they're just born with it. I couldn't tell you. I really don't know. But I look at like old pictures of her and I'm like, Gritty, oh my God, like you you had this stuff on. Like the sequences and the furs and stuff, like and so she definitely sprinkled it down to me, hand like handed it to me. I'm the firstborn granddaughter, so I think that, I was her favorite. So maybe that has something to do with it. But I don't know, like fashion and just classiness. It it's within. It's from within, I think.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
and the
that's what
clothes, your jewelry, what you wear, they also make statements, right? And
mm,
what I like, I messaged you on Instagram saying that I've been in a few situations where I've wanted to bring up Bitcoin, but it wasn't quite, I didn't know how to do it, or it could have been like, it was kind of dicey. So like a necklace or something. I
mhm.
wore socks to a Pilates class in particular because my Pilates teacher was complaining about, the bank changing something. And so I had Bitcoin socks and I was like, I had a t-shirt, but a necklace, you know what I mean? Like people focus on a necklace.
I get stopped a lot and they're like, is that a Bitcoin? It's so funny when when people when people say it like that. I have had people like, especially in my gym, I've orange pilled them from this necklace.
Yeah.
Um, they like I'll tell them and I'll like, well, just watch this video or read this book, and they're like, oh wow. I can't believe, like now they're into it. Like I have a guy and he's like, did you see this? Did you know that Michael Saylor? I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I didn't know that, but thanks. But I think it's definitely a good conversation starter for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And for anybody that maybe like was remotely curious, they'll stop and they'll pay attention to it. And you don't even have to say anything because they're just looking and saying like, what do you got? What is that?
And you just lean in and show it off a little bit more so they could see.
Can you
Yeah.
It's like a little glare there, but and it comes in silver also. I know everybody doesn't like gold, but I'm a
Yeah, I
gold.
love gold. I am
Yeah.
like, from that perspective, I'm 100% Trini. I love, love, love gold. I have a few, my wedding band, it's like, they're little, this is going to sound so pretentious. They're little diamonds, but this is like the only sort of like light colored jewelry you'll see me in. I'm always wearing gold.
I've tried to do silver more. This probably the past year, just because why not? Like you don't always have to wear gold, and I've learned to mix them. Like
Oh, okay.
it is not a sin to wear gold and silver. It's totally okay. It can be done right if you can do it right. I think it looks nice.
Yeah, definitely. So, what are your like? What's been the feedback from customers and stuff about the jewelry? Does it incentivize them to learn more about Bitcoin, or is it really just like their fashion statement?
So I feel like I have like two buckets. Like there is my Bitcoin native customer and they already know about Bitcoin. I don't need to tell them why or how or anything like that. And they just were like me. They just wanted like something to wear.
Yeah,
But I do have the Bitcoin curious, where is they're like they think the brand looks cool. They're like, "Oh, what are you know, like what are you into?" but it's like, how can you teach me? Like, where do I start? How do I do this? I really want to invest and I just don't know what to do. So it's a little bit of both of those people. And I've had, actually, I say, oh, there's three buckets. And then there's um the guy that wants to push their girl into maybe being curious. So
Oh,
I've had
really?
a couple of those people, and they're like, I don't, but guys, in my opinion, a guy could wear this. It
Yeah,
might be
yeah,
a
yeah.
little, snug, but a guy could totally wear it. But I have had that also.
Okay, so like you said before, orange pilling, but only like within a relationship as opposed to um yeah, that's actually pretty smooth. I honestly, I mean, maybe obviously my husband will see the website, like he will see this and stuff. I'm not sure how convincing it'll be after so many years of marriage, but that's pretty smooth. Very smooth.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, in the first guy that I heard that from, it was for his wife, and that's literally what he said. He was just like, I just want her to like pay attention more, and I think if she went and looked at your page, she might think it's cool to see a woman doing this. So, yeah, he
Yeah, yeah, because it's not just for guys. That's a very big, your dog. Do you wanna go
Can
get
you
your
hear
dog?
him? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
He's
okay. He
such a
wants
baby.
Does he wanna say hi to the audience maybe,
He's
or
fine. He's fine.
he's fine?
He's such
Okay.
a baby.
Aw. Well, we won't keep mommy for too much longer. Can you tell people where they can find you, what the website is and stuff, and if they have, like, questions about Bitcoin as well?
Yeah. Okay. So on Instagram, it's BitBabe. And then the website is bitbabe21.com. I love talking to people about Bitcoin. So you can reach out to me, Gmail, bitbabe21@gmail.com. Like, I'll talk about it for however long you want. So,
Yeah.
whatever I could share, what I know, I'm willing. It's exciting to me. It never gets old. So anytime that anybody's curious, I'm here. You just at me, find me. Happy to chat.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that there may be a special promotional code as well for people. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna let you pick it. So, and then I'll post it, and people. I think maybe we'll do 21% off of whatever they
Nice.
purchase.
Very nice. And you guys, so I guess the code will be like AAB21Q. And be sure to take pictures, take selfies, and post and tag
Please,
us, with your
please.
Bitcoin jewelry and stuff.
Yes, yes, please, please, please.
Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast. And yeah, we'll be talking soon.
Thank you for having me. This was really fun.